welcome. This is definitely the time of year that financial and planners and accountants look forward to, and that's the day after budget release. So we stayed up late last night, watched the budget, had some pizza, had some cheaper beer now that craft beer has had some taxes reduced on it. So now we're going to have a chat about how this effectively affects you, our Gen Y clients. So my name's Michael Williams, I'm the Managing Director of the Hopkins Group, and I'm surrounded by some of our financial planning team. Michelle, one of our financial planners, definitely in the Gen Y category compared to me, and part of our financial planning team, Josh and Aaron. So Michelle, your general quick thoughts on the budget?
Yeah, so look, in 3 words, I'd say it was pretty basic. Not a lot that really affects Gen Y. Security, look, while there was a lot of security for aged care and older Australians, I think the upgrades to airport security and screening is great for travel. I know a lot of my friends like travelling, so that's great for them. And sensible, I think, is the last thing I'd say about it.
So, in summary, boring.
Yeah.
Boring, blasé,
pretty
much.
nothing for me, lost opportunity,
Yeah. I was sort of
safe leading into an election year.
There, but
yep. Wasn't worth staying up late for.
The pizza was, yeah.
Okay, that's good. And for your generation, which is not me, but for your generation, what are the things that you want to know how it affects you? What's Aaron?
Well, I think the part about the lost super is interesting. So when is a super fund considered lost?
Super fund's considered lost when the super fund effectively mails out and has return mail and they can't get hold of you. Now, the government effectively has set up super funds to be tracked by tax file number. So they don't effectively become lost because the government always sort of knows where you are because they have a registered address for you, but the super fund doesn't. And that's very easy for you to move addresses, move employers, a letter goes out, gets returned. If that happens twice and the super fund can't contact you, they'll move it to an Australian eligible rollover fund. So the government's now said because they can track things by tax file number, they're going to be more proactive in moving your money into another super fund. Now, it doesn't mean we need to wait to the government to do it. You can do that now. Talking to your planner, filling in the lost super forms to actually track it down, see if you've got any missing money, either because you've moved address or because you maybe worked for an employer that was late on payment and then is paid after you've left employment. But it's something that you should take advantage of. There's also been some reduction in fees that could be potentially charged to younger clients, and default insurance that, again, some younger clients are arguable that they don't need, is now actually not being able to put in place until a certain age.
Yep.
So the other one that got announced was the banning of exit fees. It's quite rare now that we see any real exit fees. There's sometimes a small payment. Most exit fees relate to baby boomers that signed up under the horrible AMP and MLC type of products 20 and 30 years ago. And there's an advantage for them now to be able to finally consolidate their money without the massive penalties that were imposed.
Just on the topic of tax cuts, I know there was a few tax cuts. How would you say they affect sort of Gen Ys out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great. While we knew that it was something that was coming in the budget, we now have more numbers around that and how that could help our clients. So I guess looking at what we can do with those extra savings, whether it's towards travel or saving for a home or putting it into a high interest savings account, or just looking at the options in regards to what we can do with those extra savings.
And I think it's important, like it's not a lot of money. Yeah, at the peak it's $10 per week. For a couple it may be a little bit more. It's still money when you're on the line. It's still something that we can use and take advantage of. It's nothing like the boom that we had during the resources era, pre-global financial crisis, when tax rates or marginal tax rates got increased dramatically, and therefore there was a lot more money in people's pockets. But it's definitely a step forward. I think what's more important is they didn't take anything away. Yeah. The First Home Super Saver scheme is still there. They haven't taken away negative gearing. They haven't taken away any of your other benefits, family tax benefits and other things in the last few years. But at the same point in time, they haven't given much back. There is not any substantially increased incentives to help a first home buyer get into the market.
Would you say the low income tax offsets are sort of effectively like a way of forced savings? Because they're just giving it back to you at the end of the year. They give you $10.
They are. You know, Australia's funny because we run this marginal tax rate progressive tax scheme. So it feels, or it gives the government the opportunity to every couple of years say we're giving you a tax cut, which is really just everybody's income growing slightly and giving back exactly what they've taken away. So for once, though, they actually have given it back, whereas the last few years it's been the other way around and they haven't done anything. Again, politically, to say that they're going to remove that one tax bracket, but not for 7 years, a lot can change in 7 years.
Yes.
So
Government will change a couple of times in that period.
Exactly. You'll go from Gen Y to baby boomer in that 7 years, and whether you've been able to save or it's been able to help you get a house or get ahead in life, it's certainly not making you worse off. But 7 years is a while away to get the full benefit of it.
And for every dollar that you were in the 37 cents tax bracket, you're only saving 4.5 cents anyway. So
That's right.
Definitely not huge. I wouldn't have thought.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But tax break's a tax break, right?
Exactly.
Take what we can get. So do you think there's any sort of new strategies that you could consider talking to any clients out there that might decide to come to you as sort of a Gen Y?
Look, insurance for under 25s I think is one that should be looked at. While a lot of under 25s don't need it, there probably are some that do. I know people that are under 25 that do have mortgages, or and income protection is something everyone should look at, because you never know when you need to make a claim or need to take some time off work. So
definitely, and as I said, they didn't touch the first homeowners super saving scheme, so that's still attractive for the right type of person. It's not. I don't think it goes far enough to again helping people to get into their first home, but it's something. So the fact they haven't taken away from those things just tells you that hopefully they're going to be around for the long term, and you need to take advantage of that. But the other way to look at it is there's no free lunch. So if you don't sit down and actually do something, the government's not going to come in on a white night and say, here's a deposit for a house, here's your life looked after. It's definitely personal responsibility, and it's definitely small benefits across the broad market in the hope they get re-elected. But whilst there's no major wholesale changes, and Labor has announced a few in their policy protection, you want to get in now to make sure anything you're looking at is appropriate before the next election in case Liberals do lose and Labor come in and make wholesale changes.
Is there any particular sort of action you think Gen Ys should take now, or was the budget largely didn't really change much?
Apart from the things I think we chatted about, it hasn't really changed a lot. The idea is still get good advice, start early, take advantage of what's currently out there. The craft beer, maybe now when you go to the bottle shop in the next 6 months, you want to have a look to see whether it's premium, craft, imported, or local beers. But apart from that, it is steady as she goes. But the positive is the economy's improving. Things are looking better. Next year, once the election's over, there'll be more benefits announced. If Labor get in, they will tax higher, but they'll spend a lot higher. So wages are increasing. The economy's in a good position. It's take advantage of it. Don't sit back and hope that something's going to change for the better. It's happening now. Take advantage of it. Sit with an advisor and get the appropriate advice.
All right, well, thanks for your time today. That was a wrap up for the budget.
thank
Thank you, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you in the office.